today about cancer, something that a lot of people don't really understand. Cancer is actually caused by DNA mutations that's actually taking place in me right now, and it's taking place in all of you right now. Not to scare you guys, because we actually have a lot of defense mechanisms against that. Most DNA mutations only last a split second. Only about 1 in a million will go through undetected, and those are the ones that will eventually lead to cancer later in life, should you be that unfortunate. My family has never been affected by cancer, but I know it can be a touchy subject for a lot of you, having family or friends that have suffered from it. But I do, however, work for a pharmaceutical company that makes cancer drugs, and I work in a lab with these every single day. And I've also taken like biochemistry, medicinal chemistry, molecular genetics, so I've been able to learn over my 4 years here kind of the ins and outs of cancer and how it works and affects the body. So we know that cancer is deadly, but what a lot of people don't understand is how it comes about. How do you get cancer? How does it really affect you? So I'm going to go over the 3 main causes of cancer, and those are random mutations, chemical carcinogens, and sunlight. So the first one is random mutations. These are things, like I said, are taking place right now in all of us. They're totally unpreventable, they just happen, it's a part of living. Research at Columbia University actually found that one type of breast cancer is caused by a mutation in your DNA. So, like I said, it's happening all the time, and your DNA is actually really big, so the chances of getting a mutation on that one little spot to cause that type of breast cancer is really slim. These mutations also accumulate as you age, which makes sense. The older you get, the more time you've spent living, so the more and more your cells are going to mutate and change and kind of wear out. A study at Washington University found a 44-year-old woman who had just passed away with breast cancer, who actually had 50 mutations that were contributing to her cancer. And that's all just because they build up. They didn't all happen at the same time, they just happened over the course of your life. I brought a visual aid to kind of demonstrate how cancer works. So we're going to call this DNA. You can read it, it says, "The cat ate the rat." This is how DNA is read, it's in pieces of 3. So if this was your body, it would be able to read this just fine. We'll call this whole sign a gene, and we'll say that the gene is for suppressing tumors. So let's say you have a mutation right here at the C in cat, where it gets deleted. This is just one part of a huge DNA that gets taken out. And we'll see what happens. So that your body is still trying to read your DNA in 3s. However, it's totally illegible now. So because this was a gene for controlling tumors and keeping them suppressed, you no longer have that function. So if later in life you were to get a tumor, you can no longer fight it off, and that's why cancer spreads so violently. The second main cause is a little bit more preventable, and that's chemical carcinogens. These are things that we eat, breathe, touch. It's things from the outside world. The 2 most common chemical carcinogens are alcohol and tobacco, which is kind of scary because these are things that a lot of us deal with every week. These affect our DNA, leading to even more mutations. However, it may not occur, and I'm going to use an example of my grandma, who smoked a pack a day for the past 60 years, and she has never had any lung problems, never been diagnosed, and I'm sure you know a lot of people like that. So it really, truly is random as to whether or not these things are going to affect you. Also, food additives and preservatives are currently being studied. These are things that are added to all of the foods that we eat every single day. They're starting to think that these could also contribute to those mutations that I've been talking about that could possibly lead to cancer. The third main cause affects us every single day, and that's the sun. The sun emits UVB rays, and those are the ones that are responsible for getting sunburns and also for skin cancer. The reason that we tan is to help reflect those rays. So your body has, again, another defense mechanism to keep you from getting cancer, and that's skin cancer. This was an interesting statistic. The International Agency for Research on Cancer found that your first exposure to a tanning bed increases your chances of getting skin cancer by 75%. So that's pretty drastic. Sunlight actually directly affects your DNA in your skin cells. And this was found at Ohio State here. Researchers discovered that as your skin absorbs sunlight, it actually transfers it into heat. And after 60, 70 years of being in the sun, that slowly starts to build up. Like I said, you start adding those mutations, and your DNA will physically change. It'll open up, it'll create new bonds, and after that much time, it's just another chance of getting skin cancer. So in conclusion, we know cancer is a brutal disease, but a lot of people don't understand how you get it. So hopefully I've kind of showed you or shed some light on the top ways that you get cancer, specifically being that it's all about mutations. Every kind of cancer is just mutations in your DNA. So the top 3 ways were random mutations, chemical carcinogens, and sunlight. So hopefully through research that we're doing here and at other colleges, we'll be able to prevent those mutations or turn them around to when they